Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is One of One, but you can call me Seven. And stuff is really kicking off at Steins Gate. We're actually getting really thick into the plot, and now we're really worried about Suzuha. She just emailed us last night after going to try and find her father and said goodbye. And now we don't know where she is, so we have to see where things go from here. Let's get going. Also, we have to remember that Daru and Mayuri both told us today that the satellite at Radicon disappeared. So that's something to keep in mind as well. But so far, no sign of Suzuha. She's probably long gone from Akiba by now. She doesn't know what she's dealing with. She is but a pawn in my game, destined to fight for me at Ragnarok. At the stroke of noon, I activate the phone wave. The destination is my phone yesterday around 4 p.m. The discharge phenomenon occurs as normal. Don't listen to Chris pursue Suzuha. The floor shakes violently. Squinting against the glare, I send the mail. Okay. 40933. Okay, we're getting smaller and smaller. Are we getting closer to one, or are we getting further from one? To me, this feels like we're getting further. But maybe I'm misreading the numbers. My brain shakes violently, my vision flickers. As the vertigo passes, I can hear my heartbeat and feel the warm blood coursing through my body. I blink slowly. That was the sensation of reading Steiner activating, and so I know. So, I don't know if that's what that means, brother. I hurry down the stairs. I step outside and look to the front of the building. What belongs there has returned. Oh! A mountain bike polished to a shining finish, and on the bench next to it, looking up into the summer sky is Amane Suzuha.
Ohayo.
Good morning, part-time warrior. I try to remain calm as I call out to her. Sup? She greets me in her usual listless fashion. Slacking off? It's not like anyone's gonna come. And besides, I was up all night partying. I'm really tired. With who? With whom, you mean? Were you drinking, Okabe Rintaro? Big no-no. You're only 18. We have shifted from a world line where we failed to stop Suzuha from leaving to one where we succeeded. As a result, the events of yesterday changed. You couldn't find your father, so we held the Last Supper to make you a test subject, correct? Yeah, I remember you saying something like that. Thanks for all your help yesterday. My memory's a bit fuzzy. Remind me again how we captured you. Wait, were you really drinking last night? Just tell me. Well, I was on my way home from the time machine meet when... Oh my god. I was right. I mean, the conclusion that I was implying is not necessarily correct, but Daru was going to that time machine meet, that same meet that Suzuha was going to. And yeah. In one way or another, I was correct. Another thing that I want to mention before we keep going, I just had this thought, is it really okay to just keep changing things like this? First, Lukuko is now a girl. Or rather, I guess, what was the first thing? The lotto, right? Now Lukuko is a girl. Now Ferris's father is in the picture. And that had a big change on Akihabara and the general landscape of Tokyo as a whole. And now Suzuha is back, and she maybe accomplished her goal. We don't actually know the details because we never get to see firsthand what happened. We just know the outcome. I don't know if it's okay to keep doing this. Yep. That's the same offline meet that Daru was going to. Was that where your father was supposed to appear? I said so yesterday, didn't I? So you were going home, and then you, Hashira Itaru, and Shina Mayuri appeared out of nowhere. You brought me to the lab and we partied all night long. So my pursuit of Suzuha was a resounding success. I can't help but smile at how smoothly things went. But yeah, I feel like you're missing something crucial here, brother. Suzuha, meanwhile, looks back up at the clear blue sky. Yesterday sure was fun. Her tone is sincere. It would have been more fun if not for Makise Kurisu. The apple pie she made was deadly. But Urishibara Luca's curry was awesome. Your lab seems kind of like a clubhouse? It's nice. Everyone gets along and you're always smiling. I've never had so much fun in my life. Oh. That's so sweet. It sounds like Suzuha had a pretty dark childhood. Maybe she was bullied in school. Could that be related to her father's disappearance? Part-time warrior has promised you are now my test subject. But I already told you I don't know his email address. Then we'll have to postpone the experiment until you find out. By the way, the phone wave used in the experiment is our lab's greatest secret. You must become a lab mem to guarantee your silence. Labomem? Short for laboratory member. When you become a lab mem, you become one of us. Can I really join? Oh, she wants friends. You don't have a choice in the matter. From this day forth, you are lab mem 8. 008 だ. Suzuha lowers her head, no doubt awed by my proclamation. I hear what sounds like a sniffle. Then she looks up, revealing a smile. I guess I don't have a choice, huh? I'm all yours. You're not going to leave? Nope. Maybe there's still a chance to find my dad. You are a lab mem now. If there's anything we can do, you need only ask. By the way, do you have any leads? Suzuha hesitates a little. Then she stands up and turns to me. Her expression is grave. My father calls himself Tighter. Okay, maybe I was wrong. Maybe it's not Daru. That Tighter? You know him? He might be using a different code name though. I don't just know about him. He's been active on ad channel for the past several weeks. I open the ad channel thread on my phone and show it to Suzuha. There's someone posting named John Tighter. Suzuha stares at the screen. This solves the puzzle. Your father is on at channel. Huh. You're right. Hey, shouldn't you be more surprised? Well, it's not him. How do you know? You just said your father calls himself Tighter. I can tell. This Tighter isn't my dad. That's a strange way to put it. It's almost like she knows who's behind John Tighter. As if to answer my suspicion, Suzuha continues. His name's not John. The name my father used was Barrel Tighter. Okay, this is another layer of complexity, and this kind of throws a wrench in the whole Okabe, or Tighter is Okabe from the future. There's a lot here. Oh, fade to new chapter. Chapter 5, Dogma in Event Horizon. We're really scooting along. I wonder how many chapters there are in this visual novel. I open my eyes to a deep scarlet sky. I'm on my back, lying face up. The sky is vast and the color ominous. I've never seen it like this before. Where am I? I sit up. There is nothing here. A wasteland stretches to the horizon, nothing but rocks and dust as far as the eye can see. No plants, no water, no sun, no moon, no warmth, no cold, not a single breath of wind. It looks like hell. A frozen world. It can't be Earth. Mars, I could believe. That's what I thought. Why am I here? This must be a dream. I gave up thinking about it and lie down again on the sand. I guess I'll wake up soon. I should just wait until then. I wait, but the dream shows no sign of ending. Have I ever had a dream this lucid before? There's a terrible ringing in my ears that keeps me awake. I realize that it's the sound of silence. My belongings are gone. I have no watch, no phone. The lack of motion numbs my sense of time. How long have I been lying here? It might have been only a second. It might have been 3 days. An epiphany. The concept of time is a human construct. The universe at large has no use for it. Time is a cage that we created to feel secure. Within its walls, we can forget our own insignificance. I'm thirsty. It hurts to breathe. This void is no place for a human. We're not strong enough to live in a world without time. Tears fill my eyes. What do they mean? I no longer know. Guys, what the hell is happening? What is this? I want to die? Yes, let's die, but what is death? To be frozen in time? Time stopped for me long ago. How can I die in a world that is already dead? Everything inside me is crumbling away. Who am I? I can barely recall. My soul is melting into the void. Is someone there? Anyone? Something moves in the corner of my eye. Impossible. I try to move my eyes, but I've forgotten how. Hi, Mayuri. A pleasant voice silences the buzzing in my ears. It reminds me who I am. Okabe Rintaro. This time, my eyes move. There's a girl sitting on a nearby rock. I recognize her. My frozen brain comes alive. Her presence breathes new life into this dead world. Mayuri? My brain is still half asleep and I cannot speak. It's Mayuri, Shina Mayuri, my oldest friend. She smiles at me, swinging her legs. This is the Earth, you know? 70 million years ago. Some scary people sent you here in a time machine. This is a dream, right? Mayushi went looking for you and found ocarines from many, many world lines. Okay. You're one of many ocarins, and also the original. Mayushi is one of many Mayushis, and also the original. And now, Okarin and Mayushi are going to die here. This is a dream. Right, Mayuri? But I know that another Okarin and Mayushi will pick up where we left off 70 million years in the future. So everything's A-okay. This is a dream. I jerk awake on top of the sofa. My body is drenched in sweat. That was really unnerving. I didn't like that. It was a dream. Or was it? Hey, it's the main menu music. I must have fallen asleep sometime around noon. What a horrible nightmare. I guess that threatening email I got is still weighing on my mind. Still, Mayuri had to save me? Even in a dream, that's unacceptable. I'm the one who saves her. That's the way it should be. Besides, Mayuri's not smart enough to talk about time travel like that. Sure, man, whatever you say. I sit up and look around the room. She's right where I expect to find her. In front of the TV, watching a Rainet Kakeru DVD. On the screen, the Upa riding Kakeru's shoulder is screaming something unintelligible. She wishes she had an Upa. Look at her sitting there all spaced out. Mayuri needs my protection. That dream was wrong. I don't know about that, brother. I don't know. I chug a Dr. Pepper and check my phone. No new emails. I sent Taito a mail several hours ago just to make sure that he really isn't Suzuha's father. He hasn't replied yet. Obviously, Taito and the others don't know that I changed the past. This is a phone call, right? Instead, they remember partying with Suzuha all night long. It was strange listening to them talk happily about an event I attended but do not remember. This is Hoin Kyoma. Hi, Ferris. What's up? Akiho Rumiho. Who's that? Yeah. I could have sworn her real name was Akiho Rumiho. Don't tell me. Could the D-mail have changed that too? I don't have any. No, this is just her. This is just her. Yeah, right. Your true name is Ferris. My apologies. Of course, she's just being her usual self. Well, what is it? If Ferris is calling me, it might be about the IBN 5100. She did promise to help us find one. You've been too conspicuous, Nya. The cat's out of the bag, and now you're trapped, Nya. Huh? More of Ferris's usual nonsense? The four Guardian Kings, is she doing the thing? Akiba will be drowning in blood before nightfall. 8 devils, Black Angel 12. What's going on in this town? Really stored up a hornet's nest, but this is, I'm sorry Kyoma, but this is checkmate. Have you still not located an IBN 5100? Sorry, Nia. I have agents looking all over the world, but still no luck. What, so she has no progress to report? Please hurry, I'm running out of time. Okay, I'll tell you as soon as I find one. Until then, hold on to your 9 lives. El Psycho... She hung up before I could finish. Damn it. That's why I hate talking to Ferris. Anyway, moving on. Is anyone else gonna show up? This time around, my search for an IBN 5100 is going poorly. Actually, I suppose I should consider myself lucky for having found one so easily the first time. I mean, the IBN 5100 is practically an urban legend. There are people like Moika who have spent months searching with no success. Last time, it barely took me 3 days to reach Yanabayashi's shrine, almost as if something was guiding me there. It was fate. Or something. Fate, you know, we've had this conversation about if fate and chance are real or not. No, it was the choice of Steins Gate. That's why its loss is so painful. Guess that's why they call it the Phantom PC. Dadu is sitting at his computer like always. I read on that channel that some collectors will pay millions of yen to buy one. They're serious business. If they have that high a premium, then people must know their secret. They're all after the data in CERN's mainframe. How come they're so expensive? I mean, I guess they were pretty expensive to begin with. Looks like one cost about $20,000 back in the day. That is expensive. Anyway, I can't believe it's so hard to find one. Sure, it was a nice machine for its time, but only for its time. You'd have to be crazy to want one now. Maybe it's one guy buying them all up. The harder something is to obtain, the stronger the desire for it becomes. That's how people are. Supply and demand. And that's exactly how I feel now. In the depths of CERN, completely isolated from the outside, lies a database coded with an IBN 5100. What secrets are sleeping there? Could it contain the data from CERN's time machine research? Could there be proof that the Committee of 300 exists? The desire to know grows stronger by the day. It's not just about plunging the world into chaos anymore. We need the power to oppose CERN's evil ambitions. And then there's that threatening email to consider. Dadu is confident that CERN won't find us, but I can't afford to take that for granted. After all, we're up against the brightest minds in the world, the scientists who invented the World Wide Web. And they're backed by a secret organization more powerful than any nation. We're way out of our league here. I'm wondering now if someone at CERN or someone at in the Committee of 300 is one of our lab members, right? That would be crazy. That would be a huge, huge twist. I think that would be so cool. Anyway, enough speculation. They'd have no trouble at all crushing our puny lab if they desired. That's why we need a trump card to hold against them. But without an IBM 5100, we can't move forward. I'm getting restless. Dadu? What is it? Dadu suddenly lurches forward to stare at his monitor. What's wrong? But there's no way that's right. What are you talking about? Well, I'm pulling data off the server looking for a way to gain root access. And these files are downloading crazy fast. I mean, we're talking light speed here. It's hard to believe, but for some reason this area has a direct fiber optic line to CERN. Several lines, even. Direct? What do you mean? I mean, there's literally a fiber optic cable running from underneath this building to CERN's headquarters in France. What? Yeah, that's strange. Someone would have to have done that on purpose. Dadu calls up the National Assembly of France's website. Then he brings up the command prompt and hammers out some commands. Have a look. This is the route we use to visit the National Assembly of France's site. It starts from our IP address. From there, it passes through various relays in Japan, jumps to France, then bounces around there for a while before finally reaching the National Assembly site. It takes 16 steps total to get there. The average transfer rate is about 300 milliseconds. That's normal for an overseas connection. In other words, there's a route we have to take to get to France from Japan. Everyone takes the same route. Other countries are the same. Even browsing domestically takes about 10 steps. Now let's try CERN. Okay, so I see. So, yes, FG and like the milliseconds. So we're talking about a lot of latency here because it goes through a bunch of different IPs. It bounces. I'm way over my pay grade here. But if we try CERN, then he displays the route like last time. The results? Oh, wow. Holy crap. Unlike before, the signal doesn't pass through any intermediate servers. The PC we're using, its registered name is Akihabara.PC, is connected directly to CERN in France. And the transfer rate is hundreds of times better than usual. Crazy fast! You can't even get these numbers domestically, man. Why do we have a direct line? Is this even possible? It was like this when we found it. I didn't do anything. So the building already had a hotline to CERN? This can't be a coincidence. It might just be the choice of It doesn't make sense. Why would there be an independent line running from here all the way to CERN? Dadu's so excited he interrupted me. No Japanese or French telecommunication company would set up something like this, which means CERN did it themselves. Dadu gulps and nods. Cold sweat oozes from his brow. I feel a chill as well. CERN might be able to see everything we're doing. No. Maybe CERN has been expecting us for years. How could that be? The answer is simple. John Titor claims that CERN completed their time machine in 2034. Just 2 years later, the world is a dystopia under their rule. Maybe the CERN of 2034 considers our opposition in 2010 a threat. Maybe they use their time machine to travel to 2000 and install a fiber optic cable to track our every move. Or it's from someone within CERN. It might be one of you who is trying to help you and give you something that you didn't have when they were trying to do this in their world line or timeline or whatever. God, I don't know. This is getting even more complex if that's even possible. Has the invention of the time machine started an intertemporal war? If so, what can we do? Yeah, people keep going back and changing things and makes other things have to happen, so then more people have to go back and change things. No, I mustn't lose heart. I need to think positive. But thanks to this direct line, we can now control the LHC remotely? What? That's amazing, Daru-kun. Mayuri pauses her DVD and comes up beside me. With the connection this fast, we can control the LHC practically in real time. I haven't actually tried it yet, though. That's right. Even if this is some kind of CERN trap, we might be able to make use of it. They're still vulnerable to our tech. Is that 20-kilometer long tunnel thing, right? What does it do again? It accelerates protons and smashes them together. Mini black holes, right? The official line is that mini black holes might manifest as a byproduct of the particle collision, but that's not the truth. According to the top secret documents we found, the LHC was intended to create black holes from the very beginning, but we still don't know exactly how they do it. We need to think of a way to... Oh, hey, Makise. Kurisu suddenly emerges from the development room. She was cooped up in there all morning. Her expression is unusually grave. What's wrong? What? You figured what out? I think I know how the phone wave works. Really? Kurisu nods. She still hasn't smiled. Keep in mind that this is just a hypothesis based on what we've observed. It's closely related to what you guys were just talking about, the LHC. I believe it was you, Christine, who called the LHC the world's largest microwave. Yes, exactly. My hunch was right. You've created a monster. Okabe. A monster. It doesn't belong in some amateur lab, and before you take that as an endorsement of your abilities, I mean it in a bad way. Kurisu clutches her arms as if to keep from trembling. Give me details. Did you know that the microwave oven was invented as a byproduct of radar research? Daru and I nod. Mayuri shakes her head. We read up on all that back when the phone wave started acting weird. Microwaves are electromagnetic waves with a frequency of 2.45 gigahertz. The phone wave is commercial grade, so its output is around 1500 to 2000 watts. Here's the important part. Kurisu goes on to explain that the electromagnetic waves output by the microwave are somehow connected to the electromagnetic waves output by the phone. In fact, you could say they fuse together. According to Daru's blueprints, the microwave and the phone are made to send out shared electromagnetic waves by taking their leads and hardwiring each of them to the magnetron's cathode and anode. What is a magnetron? A type of vacuum tube used in microwave ovens and radar produces strong microwaves, okay? On one hand, we have the microwave's super strong electromagnetic waves, originally a byproduct of the military's research into radar technology. On the other, we have the cell phone's standardized electromagnetic waves, a frequency now ubiquitous throughout the world. What happens when you fuse those two waves? Both devices use electromagnetic waves. I'm not a specialist though, so I can't examine the extent or magnitude of the influence that fusion has. But hypothetically, if the cell phone were to become a stepping stone, scattering the military-grade electromagnetic waves over a vast range of hundreds of kilometers, then not just Akihabara, but all of Tokyo would turn into the inside of a microwave oven. Taking into account slight variance due to body weight, the average time until death for the people inside would be 3 minutes. The phone wave is a weapon of mass destruction, isn't it? Is it really that powerful? Let me tell you what happens inside the phone wave. The air inside the oven is full of invisible hydrogen atoms. First, it bombards the atoms with microwaves to increase their energy potential. This is the normal function of a microwave oven. But when you add the electromagnetic waves from the phone, the harmonics trigger a chain reaction. The particles collide repeatedly at near light speed, gaining mass and energy each time. In other words, it becomes a sort of particle accelerator. It's literally the same as the LHC. So if the LHC was created to generate mini black holes, then the phone wave must also produce mini black holes. Kurisu doesn't deny it. It's a miracle that thing has been so stable. But there's still one thing I don't understand. Even if it does produce mini black holes, they should evaporate instantly. But that's not what happens in the phone wave. The jellification phenomenon proves that. Okay. Let's read this first. oneself. It's easy to pretend to be someone you're not. Ultimately, however, there's no escaping the contradictions between your false self and the real you. It's a paradox, and paradoxes can't hold. I tried to tell myself that I didn't need anyone, that forming bonds would only hurt, but somehow I ended up joining your circle of friends. I still don't know if it was for the best. No, I'm sure it was. Without you, I would have given up on ever finding my dad. I don't know why I wrote all this. I guess what I'm trying to say is... thanks. Suzuha. Are we sharing confessions now? Be careful to whom you expose your innermost feelings. They may use them against you. Can't you just respond normally to something sincere for once, brother? Regardless, let's go back and look at this real fast. So, okay. So first off, I'm really confused as to how Kurisu just suddenly figured this out, right? That warning that Suzuha gave us about Makise, still fresh in the back of my head. Don't let her get involved or whatever. She's obviously a time traveler. She has to be. It's the only thing that explains a lot of the things that we've been dealing with. So she supposedly on August 10th figured out how the phone wave works. It's related to the LHC. It doesn't belong something, blah, blah, blah. Yes, microwaves are electromagnetic waves. Here's the important part. The electromagnetic waves output by the microwave are somehow connected to the electromagnetic waves output by the phone, if used together. The microwave and the phone are made to send out shared electromagnetic waves by taking their leads and hardwiring each of them to the magnetron's cathode and anode, which is a vacuum tube that is utilized in the phone wave itself because it is a microwave oven. On one hand, we have the microwave's super strong electromagnetic waves, originally a byproduct of military research. On the other, we have a cell phone's standardized electromagnetic waves, now ubiquitous throughout the world. When you fuse them, well, both devices use them. But if the cell phone were to become a stepping stone, scattering the military-grade electromagnetic waves over a vast range of hundreds of kilometers, because a phone's electromagnetic waves are ubiquitous across the world now, so, at least Japan, because they have their own networks, I imagine, all of Tokyo would turn into the inside of a microwave oven. And because of the, I guess, the particle acceleration and stuff like that, I don't know what the cause of death would be. I don't know what she's saying. Is it all gonna get sucked into a black hole? Regardless, she's saying it becomes its own particle accelerator, just like the Hadron Collider. And then it produces its own many black holes, but they should evaporate instantly. Jellification proves that that's not what happens in the phone wave. Just like in the LHCR, many black holes are turning into Kerr black holes. According to Taito, you have to inject electrons to produce the Kerr black hole effect. Where do the injected electrons come from? That's what I don't understand. Okay, so we seem to have a base, or at least Kurisu seems to have figured out a base understanding of how the phone wave works, but our main problem still is our main problem, in that we don't know what the lifter is. We don't know what is injecting the electrons. But I feel like we are getting some outside help. Outside help being help from the future, from their future selves maybe, trying to stop something or assist in something that they couldn't do when they were originally living through it. And there's an outcome in the future that they're trying to avoid? I don't know. The LHC uses something called a lifter to inject electrons into the black hole and control the gravitational field. Something is filling that role inside the phone wave. Like I said, I don't know what, so I guess that's what it comes down to. All Kurisu's explanation does is confirm our hypothesis that the phone wave functions the same as the LHC. Looks like we need to review what the LHC is. It's time for our LHC Moe guy to shine. Alright, what's up, Daru? Tell us. Stands for Large Hadron Collider. Stick with me, guys. Stick with it. We're gonna do the science, okay? We're gonna do the thing, alright? Don't worry about it, Mayuri. It's the name of an elementary particle. The LHC is basically a huge circular tunnel underneath Switzerland and France. It sits about 100 meters below ground and has a total length of 27 kilometers. There are two rings that run through the tunnel. Inside the rings is a super low temperature vacuum, an environment like outer space, basically. I don't know how they create that. In an adjacent facility, protons are gradually accelerated by the linear accelerator, the proton synchrotron booster, and the super proton synchrotron. Finally, they're injected into the LHC once they're at the desired speed, I imagine, where they undergo their final acceleration via a series of superconducting magnets installed in the tunnel. By now, they're traveling at up to 99.9999991% the speed of light. That's enough to melt your brain, not as dangerous as the phone wave, though. Finally, the accelerated protons collide approximately 1 to 10 billion times per second. The purpose of the LHC project is to study the high-energy reactions that result, or so they say. We know they're a bunch of stinking liars. I guess that about covers it. And that, my fellow lab members, brings us to the question: can the phone wave beat CERN to true physical time travel? Two problems. 1. Setting the destination. 2. The lifter. We've already established that the D-mail arrives precisely when and where it's supposed to. It's dangerous to accept that without verification. That's true. Agreed. As for the lifter, we already know it exists. We just need to figure out what it is. I don't think we're going to find it. The phone wave's not exactly big, and we've been poking at it for days without turning up a clue. Even if we do find it, it'll take forever to learn how to tune the electron feed properly. How long is forever? CERN's been working on it for 9 years and they still haven't solved it. We're just amateurs, so it's bound to take even longer. Wait. I have an idea. I don't know if I like hearing that from Okabe. I don't know if I'm a fan of that phrase in particular from him. Let's look at it from a different angle. CERN tried to send people back in time, but they couldn't get the electron feed right. The singularities were not naked. It's the same with the phone wave. You can only send 36 bytes of data safely, otherwise you get a jelly man. Let's consider the problem in reverse. What if we could convert a human to data, then compress that data into just 36 bytes? I mean, big hypothetical, but we could send that person through the ring singularity just like a D-mail, couldn't we? That's not even possible, man. And even if it were, there'd be like exabytes of data or something. You want to compress that into 36 bytes? Are you high? I mean, no. This line of questioning is good, though. It might lead to something. I feel like this is something that you guys should pursue. I guess it's not that easy. The barriers to time travel are just too high. I turned to Kurisu, meaning to ask her opinion, and then I realized that her expression has changed dramatically. Her eyes are wide as saucers, and her mouth is hanging open. Are you going to mention some research from your dad? Talk about something that he uncovered that now might make sense to you? Of course. If it works, then maybe... She pauses for a second, and then... Maybe we can do it. Do what? Time travel? It's hard to believe what Kurisu was saying, even though it was my idea in the first place. Are you serious? Kurisu grins triumphantly in response. Whoa. The data compression part, at least, is easy. What? We can just use the black holes created by the LHC since black holes compress everything they swallow. But how do you do that without it being destructive? Compression won't harm data like it would harm a human. Oh, as long as we're just sending data, there's nothing to worry about. I get it, but wait, can we really pull off such a stunt? And besides, how do you plan to convert humans into data? You know that my thesis got published, right? This is no time to flaunt your accomplishments. No. Let her cook. Have you read it? I haven't. I've got scans if you want to read it. Daru opens up his image folder, scrolls past tons of 2D porn, and opens up the scan. Sure. Sure enough, there's Kurisu's name in big English letters. The title of my thesis is... Analysis of memory-related nerve impulses in the temporal lobe. Analysis of memory-related nerve impulses in the temporal lobe. Okay. I'm trying to read the English and it doesn't necessarily make sense. Yeah. Temporal lobe? Nerve impulses? What, you didn't know? No, wait, this can't be right. This title sounds like, neuroscience, not physics. I'm a neuroscientist. Got a problem? That's kinda cocky. I kinda like that. I'm a neuroscientist. Got a problem with that? What? I can't believe it. From the way she talks about particle accelerators and time travel theory, I was sure she had to be a physicist. No, forget about that. How is this related to time travel? Converting an entire human to data is impossible. But converting a human's memories may be possible. Oh, now this is where, okay, now I kind of see where we might be going with with Steins Gate's version of time travel. Okay. Wait, but how does that work for Rintoto? Because he's the only one who he retains his memories. Would that make him a prime candidate to do it because he always retains his memory, so he remembers everything from different world lines? Or should he not ever go because... Oh, shoot, I don't know. Kurisu proceeds to explain her thesis. Memories accumulate in something called the parahippocampal gyrus? or hippocampus. I know that word, which is located in the temporal lobe of the brain. Yes, we know this. But what exactly are memories? Kurisu's thesis analyzes that question from a neuroscientific perspective. All of the brain's functions manifest as electrical signals running through its neurons. Yes, I know this. Even memories are written to the hippocampus by electrical signals. Kurisu analyzed how specific electrical signals correspond to specific memories. The mechanism by which humans recall memories can be likened to a word association game. You begin with a vague, abstract image, which calls successive images of increasing clarity. Imagine a chest of drawers. Each drawer is filled with tiny boxes, and inside each box is another bunch of tiny boxes. You keep opening boxes until you find the memory you're looking for. Kurisu discovered that the number of retrieval commands, nerve impulses used to search up memories, is surprisingly low. Out of hundreds of millions of nerve impulse patterns in the brain, only a few thousand are related to memory. It was a successful analysis of these patterns that earned Kurisu and her research team critical acclaim in the scientific community, and she's only 17. Goodness me, the human brain is phenomenal. It's remarkable even. Now, before you ask how this relates to time travel, there's one more thing I need to explain. Several years ago, my lab, the Neurophysiology Lab at Victor Kondroya University, developed a technology called visual rebuilding, or VR for short. Whoa. Put simply, it enables conversion of video data into nerve impulse signals. Video data into nerve impulse signals, something you see, or even just video data, megabytes, bits, into nerve impulses in your brain. Okay? Used in reverse, it can also convert nerve impulses into video data or any other kind of electronic data. I can't even think of other kinds of electronic data, but okay. So, if we combine VR technology with my research, do you see where I'm going? No way. We can convert memories into data? Not just that. Memory transplantation, backups, external storage. All of those things become possible. This is, oh my god, this is huge. I feel like maybe Kurisu, I don't know. No, I can't speculate. We need to strap ourselves in and just hold on tight. Just come along for the ride, because I don't know. I can't come up with stuff. Like, I can't speculate anymore. I feel goofy. It's like science fiction. In a sense, this technology could be used to copy a person's soul. According to Kurisu, some religious groups strongly oppose this research, as you might expect. On the other hand, the medical community is ecstatic about the possibilities. In any case, it's amazing that my assistant here was able to make such an incredible discovery. Of course, she did have a university supporting her, but still. So basically, what you're saying is that we convert the subject's memories into video data. Use the LHC's black hole to compress that data into 36 bytes. Send that data to the Kerr black hole inside the phone wave. And finally, imprint those memories on the subject's brain in the past. What does that mean? We can send our memories back in time, but what happens to all of the individual world lines after the memories are sent? They don't just end, they don't just get cut off. So world lines keep happening, or at least parallel universes, or parallel world lines, I can't call them universes, keep happening next to each other, and time continues to progress, so what happens? In order to differentiate it from physical time travel, let's call it a time leap for now, okay? I'll do that. You don't go back, just your memory. You don't go back, just your memories. It's so crazy that nobody's thought of it before. She's right, the idea is ridiculous, which is exactly why none of the geniuses at CERN could come up with it. But this union of physics, neuroscience, and neurophysiology will make the impossible possible. To transfer memories to the past via cell phone. To time leap. The important thing to remember is that only memories are being transferred. Personality and consciousness aren't included. What does that mean? How is it different from what you see in sci-fi novels? Time leaping in sci-fi usually sends everything, consciousness, personality, and memory. But in real life, there's probably too much data, and besides, we only analyze memories. Think of consciousness, personality, and memory as separate things. Memories are like the video data stored in your computer. And consciousness and personality are like the operating system. But videos can take up way more space than the OS, that's true. It's just an example. For starters, it's still not clear where personality and consciousness are located or how they are constructed, that's true. So we can't convert them into data, or at least I can't. So we can only send memories. Where does that leave us? Your memories aren't the only thing that define you. Even if you send your memories to the past, it will be the receiving user's consciousness and personality that process them. So in Mindor's terms, it's like copying data from a Vista computer to a Min95 computer. What the hell does that mean? The most widely used operating system in the world. Got it. Okay, got it. Data created with the latest OS might not work on an older OS. It might cause errors. For example, if you sent your current memories to yourself in elementary school, the gap between your memories and your body could have serious consequences. Anyway, is it correct to assume that we'll be targeting ourselves in the past? Kurisu nods at my question. Just like with D-mail, we're using cell phones as the transfer medium. To be precise, you can only leap into your own body, and only if you had a cell phone at the time of reception. There was an exception in Lukako's case where we sent a D-mail to a pager, but that doesn't apply to time leaping. If you try sending memories to someone else, how do I put this? There's a danger that the electrical signals might be rejected. Yeah, there's a lot of restrictions with time leaping. Wouldn't want to jump into someone else's body. Is this guy? If it just bounces off, that's fine, but I'm worried if incompatible memory data might do serious damage to the recipient's psyche. I don't know what might happen. No one's done it before after all. That makes us pioneers. I like it. There are two things I do know. One, you definitely cannot go back before you were born. And two, you won't exist in two places at once. Well, why? This answers my previous question. That means you don't have to worry about causing a paradox. You can't kill your parents before you were born. Oh, because it's two different points in time, as if it were a line, so it's not two versions of yourself. It's just the same version of yourself getting memories of... Oh my god. Okay. That's a lot. That's a lot to process, and I don't know if we're on the cusp of something else, but we did just start this, like, any more information that they're about to give us, but we just started this chapter, and I think that that is all the time that I have for today. Oh my god. This is sick as hell. I don't have anything to say. I just need to go away and process this, so I hope that you guys enjoyed that. I definitely did. And I will see you guys in the next video, so for now, have a good rest of your day, and I will see you soon. Bye!